No parent or teacher wants to see their kids or students fail to reach their dreams. But let's face it, when it comes to learning how to become a doctor or a scientist or engineer, not all schools are created equal, and some kids have better access to more tools, higher quality materials, and more advanced technology. And this gives them an advantage over students who come from poorer states or districts with smaller budgets and fewer resources. But let me ask you, do the best programs for teaching science really require large budgets and fancy equipment? Well, it turns out learning science, real science, and mastering science subjects isn't dependent on bigger budgets, fancier lab equipment, or the latest laptops and tablets. Learning real science can be as easy as opening up a kitchen cupboard and mixing a few familiar household items. It really all boils down to this. Start with a bit of the right information, ask a few key questions, and then test, tinker, and try new ideas. The right information at the right time in the right structure can make all the difference in the world to whether or not a child decides to pursue or abandon a dream of becoming a doctor, scientist, or engineer. I grew up in small-town rural New Mexico. Our school didn't have very much money, and although my teachers did the very best they could, I started behind my peers when I went to college. I just wasn't exposed to the kind of science I needed to feel confident in my dream of becoming a scientist. I struggled during my first few classes, but I was lucky. I found some friends who knew more than I did, and they helped me through. One friend in particular, from Los Alamos, had real science in elementary and middle school and had no problem with college-level science classes. My point here is there are schools who provide the right kind of information and give kids the right structure. So shouldn't this be available for all students independent of socioeconomic or geographic factors? Say your kid wants to become a chemist and enter a life of discovering new chemicals that can cure disease or clean up waste or help a farmer grow healthier plants. That child has a better chance of becoming a chemist if they learn about atoms, molecules, and chemical reactions in the early grades and are encouraged to experiment, tinker, and play with chemistry. Or maybe your kid wants to engineer and design a faster mountain bike. They have a better chance of becoming an engineer if they are introduced to force, work, and motion in the early grades and are encouraged to tinker and test and experiment with gears and come up with their own ideas. Expensive resources are nice, but learning real science just takes the right information with the right encouragement and the right support to pursue a dream. And if we don't give all kids access to our very best science programs, we are limiting the abilities of many children to reach those dreams. But I have a solution. I want to help all children realize their potential with science. So I developed a method called Raditas that will help your student elevate their understanding of complex topics and encourage learning with self-initiated questions. Now, the Raditas method has been scientifically designed to ensure your child learns every key concept in the most effective way possible. And all steps are planned in to guide them through this journey from start to finish. So follow it step by step with confidence that their skills will grow as they're guided along a teaching plan you can trust like never before. Sequence matters, and we build it for you. And of course, each step of the Raditas method is backed by science. Click to learn more about our Raditas curriculum subscription kits.